هم عربیش هم فارسیش هر دو ذکر میشه توی از نظم و زیاد.
Both the Arabic and Persian versions are frequently mentioned throughout the text. However, the student is obligated to express their own opinion here so that it ultimately becomes clear whether this principle actually exists. Regarding this esteemed brother of ours, in my opinion, it truly does exist, as you can see wherever you read.
Iran's newly elevated supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, has reportedly appeared in newly released footage, offering a rare glimpse of the man now at the center of Tehran's power. Newly released video shows Mojtaba Khamenei in a rare moment from before his rise to Iran's highest political and religious position. But who was Mojtaba Khamenei before reaching the top? Rare footage now offers a glimpse into his earlier academic life, long before he became Iran's supreme leader. From an academic setting to the highest seat of power in Iran, Mojtaba Khamenei's transformation marks a remarkable journey into the heart of Tehran's leadership. In the rare footage, Khamenei is seen taking on a very different role, listening closely and delivering an academic verdict on a student's work. Before taking Iran's top post, Mojtaba Khamenei was captured reviewing a student's thesis, offering a striking glimpse of his life before the political spotlight. Khamenei is seen seated alongside professors as a student presents an academic thesis, with the future supreme leader carefully observing the proceedings. In the footage, Khamenei reportedly awards the thesis an impressive 19.5 out of 20, making the rare clip an unexpected window into his academic side. His verdict appears equally striking, with Khamenei reportedly describing the work as flawless, rare words from a man who would later rise to Iran's most powerful position.
Both the Arabic and Persian versions are frequently mentioned throughout the text. However, the student is obligated to express their own opinion here so that it ultimately becomes clear whether this principle actually exists. Regarding this esteemed brother of ours, in my opinion, it truly does exist, as you can see wherever you read. And regarding what he also mentioned, this topic is, in fact, the jurisprudential foundations for the Imam's strategies. These are truly innovative. It is true that the source materials are not new, but examining the problem in this way is the first time this has been done. It has not happened before. For his score, I suggest 19.5 out of 20. This is a flawless text.
If Trump decides to take further action, our response, our retaliation, will be seismic. First, we will tell all neighboring countries and countries around the world not to join the United States in its economic war. Any country that takes part in imposing economic restrictions on us will be regarded as an enemy. Of course, we will first negotiate with them. We will hold talks and tell them to step aside and distance themselves from the United States. But if they do not act, we will strike. We will target that country's interests.
With the dedication of the ministry's staff and senior managers, they have been able to produce equipment that is much better than in the past, which possesses both superior capabilities and high quality. Furthermore, they have been able to bring it to the production stage in much greater quantities than before.
Israel believed Iran's missile infrastructure had been crippled, but Tehran is now displaying what it describes as a secret underground missile factory, challenging claims that Iranian military production was permanently damaged. Israeli officials said their strikes had set Iran's missile program back by years, yet just 4 months later, Iran's latest announcement appears designed to show that critical facilities survived and that production may be recovering. Iran has now presented the world with footage of an underground missile factory, using the facility's hardened tunnels and concealed production areas to project resilience and warn that its strategic weapons program remains active. Could Iran use more advanced and destructive missiles to target American bases across the region, creating a new threat to U.S. forces and forcing Washington to reconsider the cost of maintaining its military presence? Gulf nations watched as their territory and airspace became part of the battlefield, with missiles, drones, and defensive interceptors turning the region into a dangerous arena for confrontation between Iran, Israel, and the United States. Now, some U.S. allies in the Gulf reportedly want American troops to leave, fearing that the presence of U.S. forces could make their territory a target in any future escalation with Tehran. Iran's underground missile factories appear to be active once again, or at least Tehran wants its adversaries to believe that production, repair, and deployment capabilities have survived the recent attacks. The central question now is whether Washington is becoming too cautious to stand openly with Israel again, especially if supporting Jerusalem could trigger Iranian retaliation against American troops, bases, and regional partners. Iran has opened the doors to one of its underground missile facilities, sending a chilling message to Israel and signaling that Tehran wants its enemies to believe its military industry has survived the recent war. Iranian state television aired footage of a senior military official visiting an underground defense complex, offering a rare glimpse into facilities that Tehran has deliberately kept hidden from foreign intelligence and public view. The official, Chief of Staff Ali Abdullahi, was shown touring an underground site reportedly involved in producing ballistic missiles, while Iranian media used the visit to project strength and national resilience. Abdullahi claimed that Iran's missile production has increased significantly over the past year, although the precise scale of that production, and the condition of the country's remaining military infrastructure, cannot be independently verified. Iranian state media also claimed that production capacity for suicide drones has tripled since the beginning of the war, a statement that appears intended to demonstrate how quickly Tehran can replace weapons lost or damaged during the conflict. Israeli defense officials are reportedly shocked by the speed of Iran's military recovery, particularly because Israeli assessments had suggested that Tehran's weapons industry would require years to rebuild. According to reporting in the Jerusalem Post, Iran is restoring critical military capabilities far faster than Israeli planners expected, focusing its limited resources on missiles, drones, launchers, and other strategic systems rather than rebuilding every part of its defense industry at once. Foreign reports have questioned Israel's earlier claims that its strikes had severely damaged Iran's military-industrial base, noting that satellite imagery and subsequent reporting indicate that Tehran has reopened access to some underground facilities and begun repairing damaged infrastructure. Israeli officials had maintained that Iran's military industry was set back by several years, but the latest reports suggest that surviving equipment, concealed production lines, and rapidly restored facilities may have reduced the impact of the attacks. 4 months after the war ended, Israel is reportedly observing a rapid Iranian military recovery, with Tehran concentrating on the capabilities it considers most important for deterring or retaliating against future attacks. United States stated that 38 days of Operation Epic Fury generated more than 10,200 sorties, 13,500 strikes and 1,450 attacks on Iran's weapons manufacturing facilities. CENTCOM further claimed that more than 85% of Iran's missile, drone and naval defense industrial base was damaged or destroyed. These remain belligerent-issued battle damage assessments, not independently audited inventories.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.